I wanted to start off our conversation with a lot of people in marketing take up brand marketing, FMCG marketing, financial services marketing. So, how did you end up with education marketing?
Education for me is much more than marketing. I am also a faculty. I also teach. Digital marketing has been my forte. I entered digital marketing way back in 2008 when digital was still growing. A lot of people didn't understand digital marketing. A lot of people were questioning. Newspaper, TV, radio were outdoors was still ruling the roost. Digital was seen more as like, okay, fine, a brand like Times of India is having newspaper, is having a Times Now channel. Okay, timesofindia.com is just another touch point where which is there, and that is how advertisers used to see. Of course, come to fast forward to 2025, everything has totally changed. Things took a bigger turn in 2015 when Geo came and actually commoditized internet. Internet became cheaper than water. People had, I used to always quip that in India people might or might not have access to fresh water, but definitely they will have access to internet, and maybe they can order someday water on the internet also. And of course we have seen that come 2025 with quick commerce taking over, not only water, you can today order a snack, you can order whatever you want. Now, my foray into education happened almost 9 years back when I started my career with NMIMS, one of India's leading university. I started with their distance learning and online learning programs. So we started with promotion of those programs first. We also introduced multiple programs during the almost a little over 4 years stint that I had with NMIMS distance learning. And in 2021, I shifted to the main university. It was a very different ball game because when it came to online, marketing had a very large impact, because if you through your online promotions, if you manage to spend say 100 rupees and get registrations worth 1000 rupees, you could actually end up taking all the 1000 students or whatever you've got. Whereas in case of the full time or in case of university, the challenge happens is because the seats are limited and you cannot suddenly increase the number of seats because these are brick and mortar, and these are governed very strictly by UGC. There are a lot of other bodies also which govern. So as a result, whatever marketing we do, the idea is to increase the registration, increase the rejection rate. The higher the rejection rate, you start getting better quality students, and better quality students in turn translates into better quality internships, and of course better quality placements with leading companies in India, which in turn absolutely gets you to a better quality students in your next consecutive drive. I call this as the virtuous cycle of admissions, and that's something which I try to follow, and I try to ensure that we imbibe for different programs at different campuses. Now this was something which was very interesting to me. It looked like education is something which not many mainstream marketers consider. I remember the first time when, so I primarily came from the auto industry,
Yeah.
worked with had the fortune of being very close to being a part of the Volkswagen digital campaigns way back in 2014, 16 when digital was not such a big thing. Also had a distinction of working for a little short stint with Fiat Chrysler automobiles, or now they are known as Stellantis in India. So my shifting to education was actually viewed by a lot of people as, oh, maybe I'm tired of the corporate world, or I don't want to do much into this. But people don't realize that education is a very high involvement product. I would say I would actually compare it with a user buying insurance. It
Mm.
is that high an involvement, because probably after buying a house, maybe a car, and of course in India marriages are one of the biggest things where people spend a lot of money. Fourth biggest investment is education, or I would say when it comes to investment, the third biggest investment, I wouldn't call wedding or marriage a investment, but still of course there are huge spends which happen over there. But the third biggest investment that any person would make today is his education. And it now, earlier it used to be post graduation, whatever would happen, that was an education. Today that starts at the undergraduate level itself. As a result, today brands must be able to communicate about what are their different offerings. Also today, the world is very changing very fast. Initially, when lot of there was not for quality education, where parents would actually want to send their sons, daughters, their kids to foreign universities. Parents have now realized that the same quality, if not better level of education, is available in India itself. And we as marketeers must ensure that we are able to reach with this message to the parents, to the students, that those days are gone when to get quality education you needed to get into a foreign university, which of course came at a very heavy price. You can probably get a better quality education in India itself. Also, the scenario, global scenario is also changing, where foreign universities today are doing tie-ups with India. 7 years back, NMIMS had hardly a tie-up with around 8 to 10 universities globally. Today, I'm happy to say we have almost 60 plus partnerships with global universities across US, across Europe, specifically UK, France, Australia, and other countries. So it's a very big thing where foreign universities are coming to India. They are tying up with brands like NMIMS and actually creating twinning programs where a student can do, say, for an MBA, 1 year MBA in India, and second year MBA, they can do it at their university. And these are some very big marquee names which are offering this kind of MBA programs. Similarly, even for engineering programs, where we used to run a program with Virginia Tech, where a student could do 3 years of his engineering in India and 2 years after going to Virginia Tech. And we have these programs not only in tech but in different streams. For example, with Virginia Tech itself, we have a program where the student does 1 year in India. It's a postgraduate program, and 1 year he goes to Virginia Tech. Mind you, he actually goes to Virginia Tech. It's not that the faculty only comes from Virginia Tech over here for maybe around a month after this 12 and then goes away. It doesn't happen that way. And because they are going to Virginia Tech and this MSc program, which is there, because it comes as STEM program, the students have an option to work officially in the US for 3 years, which is a very big thing because once they do that, they get the requisite work experience. And probably then, of course, also it's on the student how he grows and how he takes up the job market. But these are some of the things which have to be marketed. It's yes, word of mouth in any industry. That's true. Even in education, also plays a very important role. But that word of mouth will also come when brands are actively sourcing and reaching out. So this is about what really attracts me to the education as an industry. And today I feel you have the PMO of the country, you have every minister everywhere who are there on different who are there on TV, who are there on print, who are there continuously on digital. So why not an education institution or a university for that matter?